Your team spends an hour talking about headquarters, the economy, a client's personality, and a decision nobody in the room can make. Every topic is real. Every topic may affect your work. But at the end of the meeting, what can anyone in the room actually do? This is the practical difference between the circle of concern and the circle of influence, a core idea in Habit 1 of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Be proactive. Your circle of concern contains everything you care about or worry about: the market, company policy, a client's reaction, your manager's priorities, a delayed approval, the weather on launch day. Your circle of influence sits inside it. It contains the concerns you can do something about, not necessarily control, but influence through your choices, preparation, communication, relationships, and action. That distinction matters. Influence is not the same as control. You cannot control whether a client says yes. You may be able to influence the decision by understanding the client's concern, improving the proposal, or inviting the right expert into the conversation. You cannot control headquarters. You may be able to document the local impact, build a coalition, propose an experiment, or escalate a specific request. You cannot control another team's priorities. You may be able to agree on an owner, a date, and a fallback. The question is not, can I guarantee the result? The question is, can I take an action that changes the probability, quality, or direction of what happens next? If the answer is yes, the issue is at least partly inside your circle of influence. The circle of concern is not bad. Concern tells you what matters. It can alert you to risk, injustice, or change. The problem begins when all your attention stays there and none of it becomes useful action. Franklin Covey describes proactive people as focusing their effort on the circle of influence. Over time, consistent action can expand that circle and create more choices and opportunities. Think about a project with a moved deadline, delayed legal approval, and a missed handoff. The reactive conversation sounds like this: the client always does this. Legal never moves quickly. That team is impossible. All 3 statements may describe real concerns, but they do not identify the next point of influence. A proactive conversation asks, what decision can we make today? What evidence would help legal prioritize this? Who can agree to the handoff date? What fallback protects the outcome if nothing changes? Notice that being proactive does not mean pretending the problem is your fault. It means locating the part where your effort can travel. This is where the US-Japan workplace differences add useful nuance. Research has found a broad tendency for American contexts to emphasize influence, changing the environment, while Japanese contexts may make adjustment more visible, changing your approach, behavior, or interpretation. But adjustment is not automatically outside the circle of influence. Changing your timing, wording, preparation, or relationship strategy can be a deliberate way to influence what happens next. And direct confrontation is not the only form of influence. In one workplace, influence may mean challenging the proposal in the meeting. In another, it may mean speaking privately with stakeholders first, building support, and bringing a revised proposal back to the group. The visible behavior is different. The proactive principle is the same. Choose a response that can affect the situation. Do not turn this into a national stereotype. Research also shows that urgency, role, and interpersonal harmony affect which strategy Japanese participants use. The useful skill is to recognize multiple forms of influence. Here is a simple practice. First, name the concern without editing it. I am worried that the client will reject the plan. Second, draw the influence question. What can I do that might change the probability, quality, or direction of the next step? Third, choose one observable action. Prepare 2 options. Ask 1 clarifying question. Document the risk. Request a decision. Build support. Set a boundary. Escalate through the appropriate path. If you genuinely cannot identify an action, decide to whether to monitor the concern, seek help from someone with greater influence, or release it for now. Repeating the worry is not the same as working on the problem. There's also a management warning.
Managers should never use the circle of influence to push structural problems back onto employees. High workload, low authority, unsafe conditions, discrimination, and chronic understaffing may require organizational action. The manager's circle of influence is often larger because the manager controls priorities, staffing, decision rights, meeting design, and escalation paths. So a manager should ask, what is inside my circle of influence that this employee cannot change alone? That question keeps proactivity from becoming disguised blame. This idea also connects to reflection. Root cause analysis asks what in the system produced the result. Reflection asks what response you can choose next. You need both. One improves the environment, the other improves your participation in it. The goal is not to care less. Care as widely as your values require, then act where your effort can travel. Your circle of concern tells you what matters. Your circle of influence tells you where to begin.